Who knows? I'm Lauren Weiss, but you can call me by your name. How about that? Yeah, so my cultural references, they're stuck in 2017. That's because that's the year I peaked. Okay, so I peaked in college, couldn't peak in high school. I was a nerd, virgin. But then after college, improv was no longer cool. In college, it weirdly was. So that was when I peaked. Promised my parents I'd treat you to a little Backpack Boy. I don't know if you guys remember, but in 2017, Backpack Boy did the dance on SNL, famously. We all remember it. I remember it. That's why I did it. Yeah, so 2017, but I am a modern woman, okay? I'm firmly rooted in the here and now, 2024. I'm an early adopter of tech, actually. So I was ingesting microplastics before it was cool. And I was eating the laundry detergent. I was eating the laundry detergent before they repackaged it in the more snackable pod. But now I can really just love them. It's wonderful. And these are not glasses, people. This is an Apple Vision Pro. I'm watching porn. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm watching football. It's football season. So, dare I say go Bears? I thought I'd try. I thought I'd try saying go Bears. That always work. But one thing I really like about football is the concept of unnecessary roughness. Because it recognizes that there is a roughness that is necessary. Like if you have a new footstool and you're sanding off the splinters. Or if you need to throw your body against another man's body for a popular American game. Necessary roughness. As you might be able to tell from my hat, football is not the only American sport. Okay, there's also baseball. And today, just a couple hours ago, the White Sox clinched. They have the worst record ever in baseball. As a fan, I just think that's amazing. It's just so cool to be part of history. And usually the biggest loser gets like the top draft picks. I think they should go further than that. I think the White Sox should get all the draft picks. I think they should get all the draft picks and be able to play with all of them at once. I'm talking 200 guys on the field. You can't lose with 200 guys on the field, guys. You're gonna win. It would be cool. This was just a prop. I'm taking it off. So, I'm just gonna have a little bit of water because we're gonna be here for a long time. Thank you. Okay, so I can relate to the White Sox because I've been taking a lot of L's recently. Yeah, how about that? It's not all football and fun, is it? It's L's. Because I'm a graduate student. Yeah. Is anyone else here a grad student studying physics? That's so crazy. There's like a bunch of you. That is so unexpected. It's expected because they're my friends. So I'm getting a PhD in physics. I prefer to say I'm pursuing a PhD in physics because I'm running after it and it's getting away. It's getting further and further away. It's a slog. So I do the type of physics that made Einstein uncomfortable. That's right, atomic bomb. No, I don't do atomic bomb. I do quantum. So it used to give Einstein nightmares, now it gives me nightmares because I'm worried I might have left one of the lasers on. Yeah, I'm an experimentalist. That means it's just a phase, and I might grow out of it. No, really what it means is I have to work on a big machine to laser cool and trap atoms, and then we're supposed to learn things about the universe from it. But what's really hard is that my self-esteem really tanks if the big machine is not working. And it's so hard to get the big machine to work. So it's a torture. It's a torture. So I'm 4 years in, and sometimes I like to put it in perspective. Okay, like 4 years, that's enough time to start and finish college. That's enough time to serve a full presidential term. And that's enough time to watch The Godfather, all 3 Godfathers, 3,900 times. And yes, I did the math on that, you can check. And it's enough time to make $4 million if you make $1 million per year. Seems pretty reasonable. Achievable, even. Yeah, so I picked physics back in the picking time because you didn't have to do as much memorization as the other sciences. I was, of course, going to do sciences. Nerd alert. So I was like, which science? Well, in physics, you don't have to memorize anything. You just have to know how to use the stuff that you've learned to solve the problems. You can even bring an equation sheet with you for the exam. So frees up the brain for the other stuff. Remembering song lyrics is a main thing. I'm surprised how much space I need for that. A lot. The thing is, I wish I focused a little more on memorization back when I started doing physics, because it's embarrassing to keep spelling it wrong. Other than that, no qualms. No qualms about remembering nothing from my field. Yeah. Let's see, what do we have here? Perfect. Yeah. So it might seem like grad school would be easy. You know, you're paid to learn. How bad can it be? But it's actually really hard. And it's probably the hardest thing I've done in my life of complete comfort and freedom. It's hard. Yeah. So I've been surviving off of leftovers. I've been eating old food. Some people call it meal prepping. But I'd rather just be honest, okay? Calling it meal prepping, that's cope. I didn't choose this. Literally, I have no time, and I have a limited income. So I take what I can get, and I make it last. Which is my motto. Yeah. I'm getting to the age where some of my friends are starting to make actual salaries, whereas I am making a graduate student stipend. But then I have to keep in mind that they know very little about atoms and photons. I know a lot about those things: particles, waves, matter, shit. I know a lot about this stuff. It has a certain currency to it, but it's not the kind of currency you could use to buy food. Life of the mind, people. I'm living the life of the mind. It's hard not to compare myself to my friends, though, because I'm a little bit competitive, and I think I know how I got this way. So, let's go back to when I was born. So, when I was born, my aunt had just adopted a dog. You know where this is going. I'm just kidding. Not all of you do, so I'm going to tell the joke. So my aunt had just adopted a dog. Babka and I were born a month apart. He's named Babka after the delicious Jewish dessert, of course. But at first, Babka was way ahead of me in terms of hitting milestones. Because he could walk, he could run around, he could catch a tennis ball. Whereas I could cry, lie in the crib, baby stuff. But I did eventually surpass him by learning how to talk, read, write, and guess what, Babka? I'm still alive. I am. Sometimes audiences don't like that joke. But what I say to them is, would you prefer I had died at 17? 17's old for a dog, but it's young for a girl. It would have been a tragedy. So it's really best that I outlived Babka. Let's see where we're going here. Oh, yes. May his memory be a blessing. Okay. That's what we say in Judaism. So now is the time for the segment of my set called I'm Jewish But. I'm Jewish but I like shrimp. I like eating shrimp. It's not kosher. But I just got a Costco-sized bag of cooked peeled shrimp for the freezer. Defrost them. No need to peel. I wasn't made in God's image to peel a shrimp. Just thaw them and go. Simple. Perfect little snack for nature. Just the muscle. Perfect. Anyway, I think God would change his mind about the kosher restrictions if he tried one shrimp shumai. Come on, God. Are you scared? He's scared. Yeah. But really, I do think the deprivation is probably the point, because that's often how it works with some of this religious stuff. But I get it. I get it with the deprivation. I actually downloaded an app on my phone to make my phone less appealing. Let me show you my home screen. Oh. Yeah. That's right. No apps. Black and white. I got nothing. And it's how I prefer it. The deprivation is the point. So, I'm Jewish, and I had a few professions I could choose from. Okay, so there's doctor, lawyer, physicist, comedian. There's a menu. Okay, maybe it's stereotypes, but there is a menu, and I was allowed to choose two. You pick two. So a soup, physicist, a salad, comedy, and then wasn't allowed to pick the mac and cheese because I'm lactose intolerant. I'll talk more about that later. So stay tuned. Yeah. I'm Jewish, but I do sometimes think about Christ on the cross. Like, why are we remembering Christ at his worst moment? He must have been in a lot of pain. That would have sucked so bad to be crucified. Can you imagine? And yet you see crosses everywhere. You see them like on top of the church, little figurine, Christ on the cross, all this. It's like if to remember JFK, they had a statue of him on a limousine. But instead, they put him on $50, a coin that I will never be able to afford. It's like if to remember Lincoln, they had in the Lincoln Memorial, a statue of him in the theater getting shot in the head. But instead, they put him on the penny, a coin that I will never be able to afford. You know, when I die, I don't want to be remembered like Jesus. I don't want people to have figurines of me getting hit by the CTA bus. Anyway, I hope I'm a little older when the bus thing happens. Because I've got a lot to live for. Yeah, that's right. I've got a lot. Yeah. So, I'm actually in love. Anyone here in love? Okay, I'm in love. I'm engaged to be married to the most wonderful man. And that might sound like an oxymoron, wonderful man. I assure you, it's not. He's the best. And no, he's not here. He goes to a different school. But he is real. I can show you a photo after the show if you don't believe me. Yeah, so I'm engaged to be married to him. And we actually complement each other perfectly because he has a really good sense of vision, whereas I have to wear my Apple Vision Pros. And I have a really good sense of smell, and he cannot smell anything. So when we're walking down the street together, he's providing the commentary about the small print. If there's small print, he's reading it, he's reporting to me what it says. I am the smell audio guy. So if there's a smell, I will flag it. I will let you know that there's a smell. The way it goes is we'll be like walking down the street, and then I'm like, oh, smells like piss. It's usually that I'm picking up on the smell of piss. Because I've got patented piss radar technology right here, guys. So if any of you pee your pants, I'm gonna know. And you know what? I won't be silent. I'm gonna speak up if you pee. Yeah. So So another way in which we're compatible is that he doesn't sleep super well, but I sleep amazingly well. I sleep so well, like I'm talking 9 hours a night. For those of you who sleep, you know 9 hours is a lot. Okay, so I'm basically the cousin of death. So he has this Oura ring that tracks his sleep. So he'll wake up, he'll check his stats. They're terrible. Absolute garbage stats. I can do that in my sleep. But sometimes, if he really needs a good rest, he'll put the Oura ring on me. And I'll wear it for the night. We're talking restfulness score 100. We're talking 2 hours of REM sleep, 2 hours of deep sleep. Maybe more. I don't know what the normal numbers are. But then he feels amazing, ready and raring to go. It's just one of the kind things I do for him. What can I say? I'm nice. Yeah, so he's actually from the UK, which means that he says the darndest things. He says absolutely out-of-pocket stuff. Like when we were dating, I toasted an English muffin for him. And then he looked at it and he said, "That's a crispy crumpet." It was like, it's your muffin. It's literally an English muffin. And you're not going to claim it? You're going to treat it like a crispy crumpet? It was crazy. It's crazy that the English don't claim their muffin. Because they have no issue claiming their breakfast. And their breakfast is kind of fucked up. Egg, bacon, sausage, beans, tomato. It's not great. It's not great having beans that early in the AM, but I will say I respect their commitment to farting stinky in the morning. If only I could be so brave. Yeah. So we've been together for 6 years of dating. So if this were an investment, you might say that I have diamond hands. But it's actually a loving relationship. But we're engaged, so I do have diamond hand. Thank you. Diamond hand. It's lab grown. We're good people. Okay? We didn't want a blood diamond. But I did make sure it was kids working in the lab. I don't want to put the kids out of that. I care about the kids. And I care about the kids making some money. For the economy. Yeah. The thing about being engaged, and you will always hear this, is that it will sometimes mean you have to get married. It will sometimes imply a wedding even. So what can you do? All you can do is do research. I'm a scientist, I'm doing my research. So, yeah, I'm looking to just watch and learn. I already have a system down when it comes to RSVPs. If I get a wedding invitation, I'm RSVPing yes. Yep. And then if something comes up, I just have to say something sufficiently evil to the person who invited me. Have a falling out. Burn the bridge. Invitations revoked. Everyone's happy. These are the life hacks that they won't teach you. But I will teach you. Because I'm nice. Yeah. So when I go to a wedding, I'm looking to watch and learn, collect data for my wedding. So I learned that a buffet would be easier. I learned that there's some people maybe I should not invite. I learned that some people don't like the way that I dance. I learned that some of these older people really don't like the way that I dance. And I learned that some of them are strong enough to eject me from the dance floor by force. But you never learn if you don't try. So I was kind of hoping to learn from some of you. Is anyone in the house married or recently wed? Is anyone recently wed? Oh my God, recently wed. So how was it? Okay, it was good. Oh, chaotic. Okay, what should I avoid? Rain. Oh, avoid rain. Easy. Okay, Yeah, that's good to hear. And then, yeah, is your wedding dress a size 10? And what's your price? $100? Oh, that's okay. You don't have to answer. I'll talk to you after the show. So, when I go to a wedding, I focus on a couple of things. Namely one thing, which is eating as much food as I can as fast as I can in the time allotted. There's food, it's going to be available. It's not going to be available the whole time. Got to get on it. But then when I'm the one hosting the event, I want everything to go well, and I care about everyone's happiness. But if their happiness depends on the same things that my happiness depends on, maybe I should just have a hot dog eating contest. And yes, it would be kosher dogs, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, my fiance and I recently went to a wedding with a lot of people from the UK, and it was insane when Mr. Brightside came on. That song's been at the top of the UK charts for the last 22 years, and it shows. I mean, these people were coming out of their cage, and they were doing just fine. Let me tell you, they're jumping around, they're like, "Oi, mate!" I'm Australian. I never said I could do accents. You guys can't hold me to that. I never said I could do that. Yeah, they were so excited. It was like Gryffindor had won the quiz. It was like Paddington Bear had just escaped from being held in the underwater train car. It was like the Queen's Jubilee. We're talking jubilation. But there I was, stuck to the wall. Couldn't participate. I'm an American. So, marriage is a very serious thing. Okay? And there's a lot you have to think about when it comes to marriage. One thing I've thought about is the game fuck, marry, kill. Because if I get married, I'm gonna have to find someone different to fuck. You cannot put the same person for fuck and marry. It's not how the game works. And I'm going to have to kill. I don't want to, but I will. Yeah, so a lot to consider. But interestingly, these two lessons, you have to fuck someone different from who you married and you have to kill, are similar to the lessons I learned from watching The Sopranos. Pretty much spot on the same messages. But I do know The Sopranos is not real, okay? And I hope you all know. It's a fictional show. It's not real. Take it with a grain of salt. Because there's no way Tony would go to therapy. Like, he would not go to therapy. Are you serious? No. He would just cry it out in a bathroom by himself, and then he'd get back to business, being the top dog, dom, alpha boss. Okay? But yeah, I don't actually believe anyone goes to therapy. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay? I mean, if people actually went to therapy, they should act better. And they don't. So I'm like, therapy who? I mean, I don't go to therapy, and it's a great excuse for when I don't act right. I can just blame it on my lack of therapy. So yeah. So even though I don't go to therapy, I've learned a lot of therapy terms from Instagram, where most people learn most things. And I learned about emotional baggage. Have you guys heard of emotional baggage?
Yes.
Yes? Thanks. I don't get that one. Because me personally, when I have my real baggage, like my bags, I like having my bag with me. If the airline loses my baggage, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to cause a stink. Yeah, so with the emotional baggage being something that is a hindrance, I just don't relate to that. And the other thing that I don't relate to is inner child. There's no inner child for me. I'm the same all the way through. Cut me open. Is it cake? No. There's also no child. Because I've been the same person my whole life. I'm consistent. The things I liked as a child. I like purple, favorite color. Still favorite color. I like rock and roll music. I still like rock and roll music. I like to watch the musical Hair. And it's held up really well. So I'm consistent, what can I say? Yeah. But maybe I could use a little therapy, because some of the things I'm going through, they're not so easy. For instance, I have to impress my future in-laws, okay? I have to make them like me. So I've been texting my fiance's mom. This is on WhatsApp, because this is international love, okay? So I'll be texting her. I'll be asking my fiance what to say to her. He's like, oh, tell her you're excited to try her cooking. And then I'm like, bet. Text, I'm excited to try your cooking. And then she eats this up. She loves it. She's like, oh, sending me stickers. She's sending me heart emoji. A lot of heart emoji, okay? Effusive use of heart emoji. So I'm killing it. I'm doing awesome. But I'm worried about next time I see her in person, because I need somebody in my ear telling me what to say to her. I need like a ratatouille situation. But it's hard because my fiance is larger than a rat. He's the size of a man, and I don't think he's gonna fit in my toque. Toque. Yeah, toque is a French word. Chef hat. Yeah, I actually know French. Yeah. And I speak it with a detectable American accent, which has caused me much pain when studying abroad. Like, it's honestly such a humbling experience to go live in a place where you're trying to speak the language and everyone knows you're an imposter. Like, I was trying to convince people that my sole language is bad French. Like, if I spoke to them in French and they respond in English, that's a failure. You know, that is just the worst. But if I speak to them in bad French and they respond in French, great. This is my plan all along. Yeah. But, yeah, the best compliment I ever got when I was in France from a French person was somebody asked me if I was German. Which means they thought my French was good. Well, better than American level. Yeah. The worst compliment I got in France was, "You're intelligent. It's rare for women." That was really not nice. That was from a professor. Oh my God. Yes, not only do the Frenchmen hate the Americans, they really don't think too highly of women. But I'm no stranger to sexism. Okay, I'm no stranger to sexism. I was once slut-shamed at the Vatican, forced to buy a commemorative shawl from the gift shop and drape it disgracefully over my shoulders. I've never lived in that one. Yeah. So it is humbling speaking a language that is just not your forte. But the worst part is hearing little kids who are so good at it. Like hearing like 2, 3-year-old French kids speaking fluent French, that drove me up the wall. Just self-esteem in the pits, feeling bad. But the one thing that would always make me feel better is to challenge them to a game of chess. Because they might seem really smart, but they're actually pretty dumb. They play like they're 2 years old. But yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't play chess. I'm not that kind of nerd. I'm just not that kind of nerd. But there's certainly some upsides to being in France. I mean, the pastries, they go hard. The wine, it goes down easy. And then who could forget foie gras, okay? So foie gras is this delicious dish made from a fatty liver of a particularly fatty goose. And the way you make the goose fatty is you stick a tube down its throat and you force feed it corn. So this is, of course, a moral dilemma, because it's very inhumane. I fortunately solved it, so I can eat foie gras without the foie guilt. So what I would do in France is I would eat foie gras until I was full. In fact, I was uncomfortably full. And then I would get my French friend to stick a tube down my throat to keep feeding me the foie gras. All this was fine. It was really the principle of the thing. The only thing I did not like was when she ate my liver. But you know what? Livers grow back, and better than ever. But yeah, it is really the principle of the thing. I'm very principled. You know, I recycle, and I don't eat octopuses because I saw a trailer for my octopus teacher. And octopus, they're way too smart, not to mention too chewy. So I do not eat them. So I'll leave you with this. I've been trying a new diet, okay? It's called fasting. Has anyone heard of this? Yeah? It's where I eat really fast. It saves me time. Time is money. Saves me money. And then I use that money to buy Ozempic. I inject. And suddenly, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. But honestly, I've never related to anything less. Because a lot of things taste good, and I've never even tried skinny feels. All right, that's my time.